Welcome to my presentation on social context of pain. My name is Jacqueline Davis. I teach applied social sciences to students of nursing at City University London. I am an Associate Fellow of the British Psychological Society and a member of the British Sociological Association. It is quite unusual to be both a psychologist and a sociologist. I am also a Fellow of the UK's Higher Education Academy. I met Mimi Say of PolyU in Berlin at the world-class World City Symposium and agreed to make you a short video about the social context of pain. First, I will talk about images and pain, and then I will discuss some cultural changes in how pain is managed in the UK. Pain is experienced by the individual. As a clinician, you can assess pain by observing and by asking your service user about their pain. Scales of 0 to 10 with descriptive words and emoticons are often used. You may have used the Universal Pain Assessment tool in practice. What do you think about it? My thoughts are that such a tool are better than nothing, but the goggle eyes don't really convey very much to me. Artists who suffer pain produce much more meaningful images. For example, the iconic 1944 picture by the Mexican artist Frida Kahlo, who contracted polio at 6 and as a teenager was in a school bus crash in which a handrail penetrated her body and her spinal column was broken in 3 places. She suffered chronic pain for the rest of her life. She paints herself as she was in 1944, a woman in her 30s. Her face is very different from the goggle eyes of the assessment tool. In her work, we are very aware that Frida is a woman. Gillian Bendelow has written about biopsychological research that finds women have a lower pain threshold than men, and yet socially they are perceived as more able to cope with pain and their pain is taken less seriously than men's. Is it bad to show pain? In Foucault's work, Discipline and Punishment, he highlights the importance of pain in early punishment. In this image, a man is being flayed alive. The skin which is being removed is probably the most sensitive organ to pain. Again, the man's face is not a great match to the emoticons. He looks like he's experiencing quite modest pain to me. Gilray's 18th century image of pain does not show the sufferer's face. In his drawing of his own gout, Gilroy shows a little devil gnawing at his foot. And a fourth image I wish to think about is Yeats's millennial portrait of her chronic face pain. She wrote, "This domination of pain obliterated all sense of an inner self. Resonance began as an effort to structure and distance myself from an overwhelming existence." So far I have thought mostly about physical pain. Pain is often linked with loss and bereavement. Thinking about pain not caused by the physical can help understand why pain is not simply a reflection of the severity of an injury or an illness. Above, I have thought about the social division of gender, but in Berlin we were thinking very much about the social division of age. Older people suffer increasingly from chronic pain as we have an increasing number of older people in our population. This chronic pain for older people also mixes with senses of loss and bereavement. In the 20th century, the solution to pain was to give increasing doses of analgesic. However, we now find that we can't go forward very much with this, and we are now thinking about other methods of pain management. Mindfulness training for pain involves observing in a new way, being curious how the pain is rather than jumping to wish to stop it. Mindfulness practice in the UK often starts with observing something with all your senses, often a raisin. The guided practices of a body scan and breathing are not viewed as traditional Western cultural practices. In England, America, Europe, many of us don't sit like this. However, experts in mindfulness such as the American John Kabat-Zinn has become increasingly listened to as he demands that we find solutions to chronic pain. In the UK, the programme to improving access to psychological therapies began in 2006 with an aim to provide cognitive behaviour therapy to increase well-being, including the management of chronic pain. CBT draws on mindfulness, often not in the full mindfulness practice, and I have colleagues who refer to mindfulness light, as they work with their service users to manage pain without increasing doses of analgesics. To conclude, I'd like you to think about how pain is something more than an indicator of the severity of an injury or an illness. It is an emotional response which needs understanding through applying social sciences. Thank you for listening.